computer. There are those that their accounts were stolen, as we had in River State and some other states. Then there are those whose cards have not been printed for no reason, or maybe the contractor is still going to print. But one thing I want to say here is that the number of PVCs that have not been collected is not that Nigerians are not interested in collecting their PVCs. Most of these uncollected PVCs are registrants that were done several times, that is multiple registrants. They could not have the courage to go back to INEC to collect twice. So, in effect, the office which INEC claimed to be a software to block multiple registration is not a perfect software. There are still multiple registrants in the system. And I saw Channel in the morning, you showed it. It was a typical illustration. That was what happened in Anambra. Because in Anambra election of 2013, office was applied to their computer to remove what they called impurities. That is, multiple registrants, infant registrants, and inanimate objects that found themselves in the voter register. But at the end of the day, after the election was conducted, we had a cause to look at the voter register used in the election, and we still found plate of rice as a registered voter in IML local government. You found a hand of somebody as a registrant. Then there were cases where one voter registered 15 times. So these are the people that are entitled to PVC.
But the commission insists that, look, even if that is the case, one person having 2 permanent voter cards, only one is going to be used or usable for the elections.
Yes, that argument can be defeated if the person registered in 2 different wards. You may be a registered voter in Ward 1 and also a registered voter in Ward 2. After voting in Ward 1, you just go and clean the indelible ink with hydraulic, and you go to Ward 2 and vote. So that argument is not foolproof that a multiple registrant will not vote. They can vote if they are registered in different polling stations that are far apart. Even in the same vicinity, they can even vote if they are different polling units.
Okay, let me go to this matter and interrupt this for a minute and move over to the news broke earlier today, and of course there's lots of excitement and jubilation in many quarters about it. You find out now. It's about the Osun Governorship Election Tribunal. They delivered the verdict today, and we have joining us on the phone the governor himself, His Excellency Rauf Aregbesola. Good evening, and thank you for joining us today on the program. What's your impression of the verdict today about the elections?
Well, first of all, I thank you. I commend your television station too for your interest in what is happening in Nigeria. To myself, I'm happy with the conclusion of the tribunal. I am not only just happy, I'm satisfied with the service, and I believe all Democrats in Nigeria should call it satisfied. It's quite accepted for any of the participants in democratic process that want me winner of the election of the 9th of August.
I'm afraid we have to interrupt that call and reconnect and correct redial because the connection is not exactly as clear as we'd like it to be. So let's get back to Mr. Emeka Ngige, SAN. He was giving us his impression about the permanent voter cards. But INEC has given us, they say, look, have faith in us. We've been able to distribute over 65% of these permanent voter cards. And to many people, they think we can't exactly predicate the reasons for adjusting the date of the elections on the current distribution of the PVCs, because if we met 65%, some think it's good enough.
Well, in election, the rule has always been substantial compliance. So if you have 65%, it's a pass mark.
So can that be substantial distribution?
It's substantial distribution. As long as they keep their promise about giving PVC up to, in fact, keeping it up to the 14th is not necessary. They should make it open even on the day of election. Let somebody's work be to give out the PVC. Our other persons will be doing the conduct of the election. You collect your PVC. It's like when you collect your ATM. Is there a period for you to collect your ATM before you go and cash your money? If you get your ATM today, you go to the machine and collect your money. So if you get your PVC, that on the day of election, you go and queue up and do accreditation and vote. So even putting it up to tomorrow or Sunday, I don't think they should keep to that 14th so that everybody must have collected his PVC.
But that will speak to the question of logistics. Even some INEC officials have spoken up separately saying, look, they're not exactly sure if they can handle it in terms of logistics because they've always had a challenge with ensuring that logistics are properly sorted out. So if they have people handling distribution of the PVCs up to the day of elections, wouldn't that tell on how they carry out their logistics?
Yes, because of the way INEC has also prepared for this. If INEC contacts Nigerian Bar Association, Nigerian Medical Association, ICAN, please can you give us volunteers that will help us to distribute this PVC? I believe that those organizations will respond. Nigerian Bar Association can ask the lawyers are idle because of the strike by Juson. We have been idle. We can volunteer, work for INEC free of charge to help them distribute these PVCs to the voters. So the question of logistics is because they are not giving a thought to the idea of getting volunteer. In America, people do electoral work as volunteer. You sign and go and help the Electoral Commission to do their work without getting paid. We should encourage it in Nigeria.
Okay, let's take a quick break. We'll come back and continue and get more perspective on this matter. As you have heard in the opening sequence, we have others who are also waiting to weigh in on this matter, including you. You can also send your comments to us, but give us a moment. We'll be back.